Hi, and welcome to this week's Energy Forecast. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, and this is the Energy Forecast for February the 12th through to the 18th. This is a really great week because it's about connecting in. It's about recognizing that the only thing that's going to be able to hold you back is you. So let's go in and check and see what this week is all about. So Monday and Tuesday is all about playfulness. Wednesday through to Friday is all around inner child, and reflection is the weekend. So playfulness is about the element of recognizing that even though we're adults, we have all of these expectations, pressures, to-do lists, and everything like that that combine our world. It doesn't mean that we can't do those things and bring in some joy and happiness. That fun component where you can recognize that there's things that needs to be done, but the mindset that you choose to bring to those elements is what will help you be able to lift your energy and be able to lighten the flow that is around you at this time. When we get really stuck in that mindset of pressures and expectations, that really does densen our energy flow, and therefore we become very rigid. And if we stay in structure for too long, then we start to want to rebel. So if we can bring in this element of fun and playfulness into everything that we do in our mindset, and bring in that humor and really lighten the way that you perceive the world is going to feel differently for you, and you're going to be able to enjoy yourself. There is that expression of, it's not about being able to get from point A to point B as fast as what we can. It's about the journey that we take when we go along. So that's really what it implies for Monday and Tuesday, is to really enjoy your journey. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be problems, or that there's not worries or stresses or any of those kind of things, but you can still bring a lightheartedness to those concerns. And you'll find that even with that element, it will give you a different shift in perception, and maybe I'll give you that key component of being able to recognize that sometimes our stresses and worries that we spend and consume so much of our time thinking about really does become the lesson, and therefore we can sit back and have a bit of a laugh, because if you can recognize what the lesson is, therefore you can see why and how the experience was brought to you. So Wednesday through till Friday is about the inner child. Now, the inner child is about being able to connect into that younger, childlike manner that was open to multiple opportunities, that had the ability to dream big without putting any pressures on ourselves. When we were a child and we were asked what was it that we wanted to be, we thought of amazing things like astronauts and firemen and become doctors and all of those kind of things, because we didn't set those limitations on ourselves. So Wednesday through to Friday is not only about being able to allow yourself to be able to dream big, but also going in and asking the question of what limitations are you applying on yourself, because the limitations that you put on yourself are old belief systems that need to be challenged at this point. And how you can go in and challenge that belief is the moment that you find that a limitation presents itself, challenge it and ask yourself, do you actually still believe that belief anymore? Does it resonate with you? Sometimes we hold on to some beliefs that were designed for you 5-10 years ago, and yet you're still holding on to them, allowing them to shape your reality right at this point. Whereas if we understand that that belief was at that time, then we can decide, wow, you know what, this really doesn't make any sense for me to hold on to that belief system anymore, and dispose of it. And it's a really great way to me, the mind and our belief systems are like filing systems. We have so much file sitting in our mind that half of the time we really do not need to have them sitting in there containing and taking up so much space. It is time to really go through and start having a look at your filing system, i.e. your beliefs, and be able to challenge them, and also decide which ones are relevant to where you're at in your world right now. And if there are some really big limiting beliefs that are preventing you from being able to move forward, because remember, this week is all around you holding your own self back. And it really shows up on Saturday and Sunday, where it really comes up and it shows that your internal dialogue, your internal thoughts that you're having about your own self is what is holding you back at this point. That reflection that you see of yourself is not you, even though you may be showing an outer level of this is who I really am, but on the inner world, there is not the same belief that you hold in yourself. And if you will go in and want to check out, I did a YouTube video on self-sabotage, because this will be how this plays out predominantly for a lot of people. When we start to recognize that our inner and outer worlds are out of balance, it'll start showing up in ways like self-sabotage. So that's, you know, it could be overeating, it could be not pursuing your dreams, letting obstacles get in your way, letting yourself be surrounded by people that are consumed by drama, so you're getting dragged into it, so that it's actually consuming so much of your time, which is actually just a deflection mode to actually take away the fact that you're not pursuing the dreams that you want for your own self. So they would be the kind of things that I would be really considering to look at, is what is your internal dialogue like for yourself at this point, because this is what will be holding you back. Because you know what, you can dream big, but if at the end of the day you don't believe it, then you've got this incongruency, and it's going to be a mismatch, and you'll find that there will be a continual a tug of war going on inside of yourself that's going, hey, you can achieve this, but then the undercurrent, which is your belief system, which is where everything stems from, is going, no, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You have no value. You have no worth. If you have any of those kind of connotations playing out in the background, guess what? The likelihood of you being able to achieve the goals and the dreams that you wish to are going to be so incredibly emotionally and mentally challenging, only because of the obstacles that you are placing upon your own self. So this is a really, really great way, a great week this week, to be able to go in and check in with and bring a real sense of honesty. And honesty doesn't mean judgment. It's just about being able to say, hey, yes, I actually do think that this belief that I've been carrying around for a really long time really doesn't serve me anymore. And you'll find that the moment that you decide to make that change and decide that you want something more from yourself, then things will start to fall into sync and into flow for you. And there won't be as hard to be able to achieve your goals. The road will start to become smoother, and it all starts with what you think and feel in here. So when you discover, or may discover, that there may be some limiting beliefs that are holding you back this week, the greatest way is to be able to look at what is the opposite. Because when we decide to let something go, rather than the filing system in our head becoming smaller, there becomes a gap. And so we need to be able to replace something that's old and limiting with something that is more empowering for you to fill in that filing space in your mind and within your physiology. So you could decide, if today, you found that you don't believe in yourself, you could say a mantra of, I believe in me, I believe in me, and I believe in me. And when you decide on, excuse me, when you decide on the affirmation or the mantra that really resonates with the core of what is playing out for you, then say it 5 times throughout the day. So you're going to be saying it 25 times. And you want to be able to close your eyes and say that mantra and allow all of your senses to become activated. Allow yourself to see that you believe in yourself. Feel that you believe in yourself. Know that maybe not right at this time do you believe it, but the more that you consistently say that mantra, you know that you are going to embed a brand new belief. You're going to bring in all of your physical senses, as well as your mental, emotional, and soulful elements, because you'll find that the moment that you start making that commitment to make those different changes and bring in beautiful new beliefs, the universe is going to find different ways in which to be able to say, hey, yeah, we're going to back you all the way, because you know what, the universe and your soul is always going to support you. So you can decide whether you want those limitations to hold you back and allow that to be amplified and that be the energy that you resonate with, or you can decide that, hey, I can see that this is not working for me anymore. This was an old way that I used to do things, and now I choose something differently, and I'm going to work. I want to say the word ferociously, because to me that ferociousness is having that courage to be able to recognize when something's not working, but decide to want something more for yourself. And that means putting in the work behind the scenes, the work that no one sees, the mental work, the physical work, the soulful work, the intention settings, all of those kind of things that no one sees or hears behind the scenes, but you know that you're doing the work. And remember, at the end of the day, whatever you see, hear, think, and believe and feel is going to determine the outcome of the direction that you're going in. And if you are finding the direction isn't where you want, make adjustments. This is the week to come in and contemplate what is working for you and what is not, so that you can make those slight adjustments, bring yourself into alignment. And from the cards that's been brought out this week, it is definitely all around your internal dialogue. So put that daily affirmation or mantra, put it into your phone, walk around the house, going in your car, sitting and watching TV. Say it consistently for the next 7 days and see how differently you feel about yourself. And then you need to be able to also, throughout those 7 days, be able to back that up with action. So if you think that you don't believe, that you haven't believed in yourself, and all of a sudden you are starting to use the mantra, I'm just using it as an example of I believe in me, then you're going to need to be able to support that with action, so that if you find that there is something that you've been fearing to do or worrying that you're not good enough about doing it, now is the week to be able to overcome that. Because not only do we need to change the beliefs that are happening, but we then need to be able to back that up and back ourselves up with evidence through taking a firm step forward and moving yourself towards where you want to be. Because you know what? You know what it's like to sit where you are. And I think for a lot of people, they're having this moment of feeling stuck and overwhelmed, and it's only because they're resisting the need to move forward. Because when we move forward, we evolve and we grow. We're not supposed to stay in one space for too long, because then we only start to slip backwards. And that really is what's been coming up over the last couple of weeks, is people are starting to slip backwards. And now it's that time to gain that momentum and start that traction of moving forward. So remember, throughout this week, while you go in and you consider some of the limitations that you've been putting on yourself, be kind, be gentle, and remember, you have all of the answers within you to be able to help you be able to move forward. And I would say that you've already been receiving these intuitive cues that are already giving you guidance on what is the next thing for you to do. It's up to you whether you choose to follow that guidance or hide and pretend that it doesn't exist. But guess what? If you choose that as an option, whether you choose to listen to it now or choose to listen to it in a month's time, it will keep playing up and keep being brought up for you, because that's your soul's way of being able to communicate, to say, you can do better, you are good enough, and you are worthy. It's up to you whether you want to believe it. So take care. Have an awesome week. Much love to you all. And if this is something that you feel will resonate with others, please feel free to go in and share it. So otherwise, take care.